man sold. You see his belly. He don't get belly. Is let me tell you another thing about him. So if you see people saying it's the coalition of criminals, that you are a Peter Obi supporter, don't get emotional. People need to express themselves. We are talking about characters, evil characters. That for some reason, I don't know, like these are evil characters that 2 years ago, right? They were like the Alpha and Omega. They turned lives, they destroyed lives, they killed people. But suddenly they want to save us from Tinubu by using Obi as a cover. So don't get too emotional, because when people say that, they are not saying it just to spite Obi. They are saying the truth. Malamu, the same Malamu. Nigeria was working with the UK to return a particular Abacha loot, right? Under Egberejo lantern. And everything was done, all the paperwork, everything then. Now, so Egberejo lantern lost, right? So it was just for Nigeria to say, pay to this account, all right? And I think it was the first money they gave to Bokwari from Abacha's loot, right? And I think it was 1 billion or thereabout dollars. First Abacha loot, they will return when Bokwari took over. Everything was done just for Nigeria to say, yeah, pay to this account. Malamu came in, became the Attorney General of Nigeria. And guess what he did? He hired new set of lawyers. Office of the Attorney General, right? They have like hundreds of staff. 80% of them are lawyers on different things, because their job is to advise the minister so that the minister can also legally advise the president. And they are on pay, like they are on the payroll of the Ministry of Justice. You know? Malamu set up a new group, hired them, and said they will be representing Nigeria. They drafted a new agreement with Nigeria that they will help Nigeria collect the money, right? And guess what? They will be taking 18% of the money. And they did take it. I'm talking about guys who cashed out over $100 to $200 million from money where they don't know. That was the first time. His children, they're like multi-billionaire, this mofo. But now they want to fight for Nigeria to rescue our place. The Dido senator says Kolu won't see what is going to hit him in 2027, in his words.
Well, the North is trying to advance political unity. The North is trying to advance political inclusion. That whosoever is the president of Nigeria is the president of everybody. You are not the president for the North, you are not president for the South, you are not president for Igbo or for Yoruba or for Hausa or for Fulani, you are the president of every Nigerian citizen. That's what North want to advance, and that's what we believe in. Unlike today, with Tinubu's administration, he has proven to be anti-North, anti-poor man. And look at the budget and go through the budget lines of the Ministry of Works, for example. You put up a project of 13 trillion naira in one place. What did you put in the entire North? Next to nothing. How do you run a country like that? And how do you want people to be happy? You see, the fact that someone lives in suspicion, someone lives in fear, it is enough to stop him from going to bed. Suspicion is enough. And look at the insecurity in the North today. The resurgence of insecurity. It is so bad. So the North is trying to bring up a coalition that can work for Nigeria. Someone will ask of Buhari, look at the Buhari's appointment. Minister of Works, from where? From the South. Governor Central Bank, from where? From the South, an Igbo man. So he distributed these things. Look at what is happening today in Tinubu's regime. We feel, and we strongly feel that he doesn't love the North, even though the North gave him 63.4% of his vote. 63.4% of Buhari's vote came from the North. How is it treated? It was very bad. But that's not the case. The case is about Nigeria. And the Arewa are coming together in collaboration with our brothers in the southeast, in the south, and the southwest, we are coming together to see how we can unseat him in 2027, and we are serious about this.
Nigerians are saying by now we will see a clearer picture of the coalition that formed in 2027. Actually, all the parties are down in clashes now. On Sunday, you see that it's vibrant and alive. How do you intend to go about this?
Yes, in 2015, PDP was very vibrant. What did their vibrancy took them? They lost. So when you think that you have decimated all other political parties and killed them, you think you are costing to victory. Nigerians are no longer the docile people that they used to be. So, as it happened in 2015, history will repeat itself. When they thought that everybody was docile, and they had the central bank, they opened the central bank vault, and they are wheeling out millions and billions of dollars. You can hear they gave one person 2.1 billion US dollars. In what name? In the name of buying arms. What did they do with the money? For campaign, 2.1 billion. In today's naira, that is over 40 billion. Right? Trillions. Okay. So, they gave out this money in 2015 to help somebody to win election because they had the money. So if Tinubu and his APC think that because they have the central bank, they have our common money, our common heritage, our common resource in their pocket, and they want to use our own money to fight us, they will meet us. Forget about their dismissing political parties, their dismissing opposition. We are here waiting for them. When the time comes, they will know who is Northerner. They will know who are Nigerian citizens. And we are not afraid of their arrest. How many will they arrest? If people fought military, the military regime was forced to stand still. Nadeko was there, and other pro-democracy activists they there, and they fought military, and they bring democracy. Is it democratic government that we are afraid of when they are not afraid of military? They don't even know what is waiting for them. Well, the North is trying to advance political unity.
So that's the Dildo senator from Adamawa. And according to him, right, he who laugh last will laugh best. That those who are going to look down on them, talk about the power of incumbency and other stuff. And he's talking about Kolu. But he's right in that part. That's one of the reasons why the Northerners are upset, or I would say Northerners, Northern criminals are upset. It's mostly because they have been cut off from, their traditional, sort of like their traditional entitlement, kind of. You know what that is, right? They said Tinubu has taken all the major appointments and gave them to Yorubas. Even though the Yorubas are not benefiting anything from Tinubu, let's be very clear, right? Same way that no Fulani in that contraption will say they benefited from Bokuwari. I would say no ordinary Fulani or ordinary Northerner that would say they benefited any Shingbai from Bokuwari, but their elites can say the same. You get what I mean now? Like, so Tinubu gave all the political appointments, the solid one. That's what he meant. Like the Ministry of Works, he get money well. Ministry of Finance, Central Bank, what else again? Right? Like it should say all the major. He now gave remnants to northern Nigeria. We show him. So Tinubu knows that. So the last time he told those who are joining him that it will give them more appointments. Appointment is coming. All right. So even if they have to create some bogus title office for you, for you to be drawing payment, they will do it. But to the Northerners, it is too late. Right? So I don't know, maybe they would have to infuse their demands in the agreement, coalition agreement that Peter Obi would have to agree to as well. Power sharing. That's what is called coalition. No? All this talk about is the people of Nigeria, is that's the political talk. It is power sharing. That is what will determine if their coalition is going to work or if it's not going to work. If it's going to last or if it is just a shamble. so to say. So when somebody like that is mentioning appointment, right? Then you should know why they are. Because what happened to all the thousands of appointments that Bukwari gave them? What happened to all the trillions of Nigeria money diverted to northern Nigeria? How much of that impacted in the life of an average northerner? None. Even when there are different kind of terrorists were ravaging the entire northern Nigeria up to the middle belt part of Nigeria, nobody really gave a damn and say, oh, is the northerner? Northerner is in charge. You are supposed to protect us. Nah, you are a fair game to them. You get what I mean? So anyway, Tinubu announced another appointment of over like 200 new appointments. So I can't show you everything, all right? But guess what? Ogbeni was like sharing appointments enough that the latest announcement will give 80% of this to northerners. Over 200 people he appointed. Look at all the positions. Agency. Nigeria Agricultural Insurance Corporation. Nigeria Agricultural Insurance Corporation. You get a National Center for Women Development. Federal Mortgage Bank. Michael Imodu, National Institute for Labor Studies. They put all of them there. Maybe they can all begin to stop. I mean, they can stop complaining about marginalization. But here is what the brother had to say. For those who always love to somehow like a curry towards or try to curry favor from the northern part of Nigeria, if Nigeria would have to progress, Nigeria would have to progress without the north. I didn't say that. A northerner said it.
So the hardest thing I've had to accept since I've been here is that Hausas, my tribe, my people, unfortunately are not going to allow Nigeria to become what it's meant to be. The mindset of the northern Nigerians are going to destroy this country. I'm sorry to say it. So this is an idea I had, right? It was very simple. Raise money, build orphanages, massive orphanages, and pick up the Almajiris off the street. Take the Almajiris off the street. Teach them engineering. Teach them tech. Teach them coding. Take them off the streets and teach them, try to get them up to par so they can compete. And I brought up how every time I had this conversation, I would bring up the 4 Indian kids, the 4 Indian boys, like 10-year-old boys that were online. They were doing the live chat and building an app. Every time I bring up this idea to a northerner, the first thing they ask is, well, what about Islam? What about Qur'ani? What about Islamic school? When I say I have met incredible resistance to the idea of taking these boys off the streets and getting them to join the global age. Like, my mindset is this. Every corner you go in northern Nigeria, there are 5 people willing to teach these boys Islamic school, Quran. There are 10 people willing to teach them everything they need to learn about Islam. Why isn't there anyone willing to teach them anything else? So when I brought that up, some people were like, I had people going, it will never happen unless I have to teach them Islamic curriculum in the schools. I said, you don't understand. Northern Nigerians are against the idea of changing the trajectory and the outcomes of Almajiris. They say Almajiranchi, which is what it is embedded in our culture. And here's the thing, no, it's not. And as a Muslim, it's haram. I fucking said it. Any northern Nigerian that wants to step the fuck up, do it. It is haram. Because you are not allowed to bring a child into this world that you cannot raise. And there are northern fuck ton of Hausa men and women who have babies with no intention of, they know they will only take care of that child to a certain age, then they'll pawn that child off. There are a fuck ton of imams, men in the north, who rely on these kids for a living. They send these boys out every day to go earn a living and come back and give them. I thought up an idea that, look, we need to find a way to raise money, build orphanages, teach these boys tech, teach them engineering, teach them robotics, let them compete with the global populace. And every time I bring this up, every fucking Hausa person I tell this shit to wants to argue with me. They say it's not going to. They are vehemently against this. So I need you to understand, I need to ask you, how will Nigeria as a fucking country compete with the likes of Ghana, South Africa, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, when the northern Nigeria is part of Nigeria? The most fucked up thing I'm going to have to say as a Hausa man is, for Nigeria to advance, they have to get rid of Hausa. They have to get the north Nigeria, it can never work. This is a sad, sad realization that it can never work. Like, this is insane. And I am Hausa. This is fucking crazy. Wait, let me show you something. Right here, this is attestation of citizenship from New York. As you can see, I am from Shanono local Gwamang in Kano State. I am as fucking northern Hausa as it fucking gets. I am as Aboki as it could possibly fucking get. And I am saying, Nigeria, to win, to compete on the global stage, Nigeria will have to get rid of the north. It will not happen with my people are actively holding this country back. It is so fucking insane.
Apologies for the profanities, all right? The what we commonly call the foul language, right? So I believe we don't have children in the room, do we? Don't tell me. But apologies for that, though. He's a northerner. He's a popular TikToker. Talks more about African rediscovery, Africans, you know, going back to the roots and, you know, resist new colonialism, imperialism, name it. So it's been, I never knew he's actually a northerner. I never even knew he was a Nigerian, talk less of being from the north. He's from the Shanono Lokukomet area in Kano. Nigeria wants to progress. We would have to do it without the north. Something that kind of like, I bet, trigger some people. How dare you say that we are making efforts? Well, it's up to you. Because if you meet another too, he will likely tell you that the problem of Nigeria are the Yorubas. If you meet some Yorubas, they will tell you that the problem of Nigeria are the Igbos. And when you meet some Igbos too, they will tell you that the problem of Nigeria is the Fulanis. So in a nutshell, right, everybody can actually live on their own. Right? We will be neighbors, or we'll just know that we have problems. We have problems of ourselves, but we are all in our space, running our own things. Don't you think that's better? But everybody is always like pointing fingers at everyone. Yeah? So the contraption is going nowhere. And a bit of a throwback, though, a member of the coalition who is also a member of Terror Nation. I want to say Terror Nation, but it doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm talking about. Kaduna Littlefinger. The reason why so many parts of Nigeria today are now victims of the Fulani terrorism is no other person than this guy. Remember that?
River Kaduna divides us. In the south, you have Christians and non-indigenous. In the north, you have mostly Muslims and Hausa-speaking northerners. And it's very unhealthy. And the industries are in the south, okay? And these repeated cycles of religious and ethnic violence, you know, are part of what contributed to destroying Kaduna. That is one. The second, of course, is which is a more recent one, is the challenge of cattle rustling and what came after it. I think cattle rustling has its roots in the post-2011 election violence. Okay, Kaduna lost about 800 lives during the post-election violence. It was the worst in the country. It didn't get as much media attention as it should, but you know, many lives were lost, particularly in southern Kaduna. Now that led to two things. First, many of the Fulanis that were killed or displaced during the period now lost their cattle and turned to cattle rustling. Second, we had a series of reprisal killings happening over and over in southern Kaduna. This is what we found. In fact, I was sworn in on Friday, 29th May. That evening, there were killings in Sanga local government in southern Kaduna. So my first assignment as governor was to call a security council meeting on Saturday to address it. We've been trying to address all those issues. The killings in southern Kaduna have more or less stopped, thanks to the intervention of a committee we set up under the leadership of General Agwai. former Chief of Defense Staff. He did a very good job of going around and really tracing the root of these killings, and found that most of those that come in to do these killings are from other African countries, Cameroon, Chad, Mali, Senegal. Because this happened in April, and these cattle rearers had come from these countries and were going back because they moved across the West Africa sub-region. They came in just as they were going back with their cattle. This problem happened. If you remember the elections of April 2011, and they were just victims that were passing through. And of course, the Fulanis have this long memory of revenging any killings. So their relations were coming from other countries to revenge. So we had to reach out to some of those communities outside Nigeria and say to them, look, this cannot continue. Let us sit and settle. We can pay compensation.